You know something has changed when you catch your reflection in an unexpected mirror, not the one in your bathroom where you've learned the right angle, the forgiving light, but the other one, the one in a shop window, the one in someone's hallway, the one that shows you as you actually are, not as you remember being. And maybe you notice it's not just your face that looks different. It's something in your eyes, a tiredness that wasn't there before, a heaviness that sleep doesn't seem to touch anymore. Some people carry many decades, yet something inside them remains alive. Their eyes are clear, their movements have grace. They laugh easily, and when they speak, there's a lightness to their words, as if they've learned to hold life gently in their hands. Others are young in years, but already their shoulders curve inward. Their breath is shallow. They move through the world as if dragging invisible weights, and when you look into their eyes, you see exhaustion that runs deeper than any single sleepless night could cause. This is the paradox Buddhism has been teaching for thousands of years. Aging does not begin in the body. It begins in the way the mind relates to life. It begins in the invisible habits we carry, the ones we've never questioned, the ones we don't even notice anymore because they've become as natural as breathing. The truth the Buddha discovered under the Bodhi tree wasn't about time itself. He understood that time moves at the same pace for everyone. What makes one person age rapidly while another seems to carry the years with grace has nothing to do with genetics or luck or some mystical life force. It has everything to do with resistance. It is not what happens to us that drains the life from our bones. It is how we carry it inside. It is the friction we create between what is and what we wish would be. It is the constant inner argument with reality that slowly becomes chronic tension, emotional fatigue, and a loss of vitality that shows itself long before the body begins to fail. In the Zen tradition, there's a saying, "The obstacle is the path." But what they don't always add is this: the obstacle is often invisible. It lives in the way you clench your jaw when someone cuts you off in traffic. It lives in the running commentary your mind maintains about how things should be different. It lives in the breath you hold without realizing it, in the sleep you never quite sink into, in the meals you eat while your mind is somewhere else entirely. These are the habits that age you. Not loudly, not all at once, but quietly, persistently, like water wearing away stone. And the most difficult part is that they feel so normal, so much a part of who you are, that you might never notice them at all. Unless you stop, unless you become still enough to see what you've been doing to yourself all along. Core understanding what actually ages us. There's a story told in Buddhist monasteries about a monk who carried a heavy rock everywhere he went. When asked why, he said he was training for strength. Years passed. His back curved. His joints ached. One day, his teacher said, "You are not getting stronger. You are wearing yourself down. Put down the rock." The monk replied, "But I've carried it for so long, I don't know who I am without it." The teacher smiled. "That is why you must put it down." This is what most of us are doing, without even knowing it. We carry invisible rocks. We call them our worries, our regrets, our plans, our identities. We carry them so faithfully, for so long, that we forget we're carrying them at all. And slowly, without realizing it, we age under their weight. Modern science is catching up to what Buddhist practitioners have known for millennia. Research published in journals like Nature Aging and Cell Metabolism in 2024 and 2025 confirms that chronic psychological stress accelerates cellular aging at a measurable level. Studies show that people with persistently elevated cortisol, the stress hormone, have shorter telomeres, those protective caps on our DNA that are biological markers of aging. Their mitochondria, the energy factories of cells, function less efficiently. Their bodies show signs of systemic inflammation, the kind that drives heart disease, diabetes, and cognitive decline. But here's what's fascinating. The stress itself isn't the problem. Life is stressful, loss happens, disappointment is inevitable, aging bodies do slow down. What causes the accelerated aging is not the event, but our relationship to it. It's the resistance, the constant inner friction of fighting what already is. Think about this for a moment. When you're stuck in traffic and you resist it when your mind runs, the story of how you shouldn't be there, how it's unfair, how you're going to be late, your body responds as if you're in actual danger. Your nervous system activates, your muscles tense, your breath becomes shallow, your digestion slows. Blood moves away from your organs and into your limbs, preparing you to fight or flee from a threat that doesn't actually exist. Now imagine you do this dozens of times a day. Every time something doesn't go the way you wanted, every time someone says something you don't agree with, every time your body feels uncomfortable, your plans fall through, your expectations aren't met. That low-grade, constant activation is like leaving your car engine running all night, every night. Eventually, something breaks down. Buddhism calls this dukkha, often translated as suffering, but more accurately understood as the dis-ease that comes from constant friction with life. And the Buddha's great insight was this: the friction is optional. The events themselves are not. But how you hold them, that is where your freedom lives. The monk in the story wasn't being asked to become weak. He was being shown that true strength comes not from carrying unnecessary weight, but from knowing when to put something down, from recognizing that some burdens we carry out of habit, not necessity, and that the very act of setting them down creates space for something new to emerge, a kind of vitality that doesn't come from resisting life, but from meeting it with open hands. Inner youthfulness, in the Buddhist sense, is not about trying to look or feel a certain age. It is about spaciousness. It is about having room to breathe inside your own life. It is about freedom from the constant inner argument with reality that most people mistake for normal thinking. And this freedom, this inner youth, is not something you achieve through effort. It's something you rediscover when you finally stop doing the things that have been draining you all along. The 10 Habits Quiet Recognitions. 1. Resisting the present moment. Have you noticed how your body tightens the instant your mind says, "This shouldn't be happening"? It might be something small. The line at the grocery store is longer than you expected. The person you're talking to interrupts you mid-sentence. Your coffee is lukewarm. Your back hurts when you stand up. These tiny moments, dozens of them every day, where reality diverges from your preference. And in each moment, there's a choice you probably don't even notice you're making. You can meet what is with acceptance, or you can resist it. Most of us resist it. Not consciously, not dramatically. But the mind produces a subtle inner no, a tightening, a wish for things to be different than they are. The Buddha taught that this moment right here, right now, is the only place life actually happens. The past is a memory. The future is imagination. This breath, this sensation, this precise arrangement of circumstances, this is it. This is life occurring. When you resist this moment, you're essentially fighting with reality itself, and reality always wins. But the fight drains you. It creates tension that settles into your shoulders, your jaw, your stomach. Over time, This constant low-grade resistance becomes so familiar you don't even notice it anymore. It just feels like you, like how life is. But it's not how life is. It's how you're relating to life. In the Zen tradition, there's a practice called shikantaza, just sitting, nothing else. Just being present with what is, without adding anything, without taking anything away. When you first try it, you realize how noisy your mind is, how much commentary it runs, how exhausting it is to constantly be in relationship with the present moment, as if it's an opponent to be defeated. The invitation here is not to like everything that happens. It's not to become passive or resigned. It's simply to notice the difference between responding to what is and resisting what is. One creates space. The other creates friction. And over months and years, that friction quietly ages you in ways no cosmetic procedure can reverse. 2. Complaining without awareness. There's a difference between acknowledging difficulty and complaining about it. Acknowledgement is clear-eyed. It says, "This is hard right now," and then moves toward a response. Complaining is different. Complaining is repetitive. It circles the same territory over and over, not to solve anything, but to reinforce a story about how things shouldn't be the way they are. And here's what most people don't realize. Complaining without awareness actually trains your nervous system to stay in a state of agitation. Each time you voice the same complaint, you're strengthening a neural pathway that says, "This is wrong. This is a threat. I am unsafe." Buddhist psychology teaches that what we repeatedly think and say creates a kind of groove in consciousness. The Pali word is sankhara, mental formations that become habitual. Think of it like a path through a field. Walk it once, the grass springs back. Walk it 1,000 times, and you've created a permanent trail. When you complain habitually about traffic, about people, about your body, about the weather, about politics, about how tired you are, you're not releasing pressure. You're teaching your mind to identify with dissatisfaction. You're making fatigue part of your identity. This doesn't mean you should suppress genuine feelings or pretend everything is fine when it's not. The key phrase here is without awareness. When complaining becomes automatic, unconscious, something you do without even noticing, it stops being communication and becomes reinforcement of a victim mentality. Sometimes silence with clarity heals more than words repeated without presence. Sometimes the most radical thing you can do is simply stop rehearsing your grievances, even to yourself. Let them exist if they must, but don't give them the energy of your attention over and over again. What you'll discover, if you try this, is surprising. Without the constant narration of dissatisfaction, life doesn't feel as difficult as your complaints made it seem. The traffic is just traffic. The weather is just weather. Your body is just a body doing what bodies do as they age. And in that simple recognition, without the overlay of complaint, there is a strange kind of peace. 3. Sleeping without closing the day. Your body rests. But does your mind? Most people end their day the way they lived it, with thoughts still circling, tasks still pending, conversations still replaying. They lie down, close their eyes, and expect sleep to arrive like a train at a station. But sleep is not a destination you arrive at. It's a letting go. And you cannot let go if you haven't first released. In traditional Buddhist monasteries, there's an evening practice called dedicating merit. It's a way of consciously closing the day, acknowledging what happened, releasing what needs to be released, and creating a mental boundary between day and night. It's not about fixing everything or processing every event. It's about allowing yourself to be done, Modern life rarely teaches this. We're encouraged to be always available, always productive, always on. The workday bleeds into evening, evening bleeds into night. And even when our body lies still, our mind keeps carrying the day, keeps working on problems that can't be solved in darkness, keeps rehearsing conversations that are long over. The result is what sleep researchers call shallow sleep architecture rest, that never quite reaches the deeper stages where true restoration happens. You might sleep for 8 hours and still wake up tired, because your nervous system never actually downshifted. You were lying down, but you weren't resting. Buddhist psychology offers a simple practice. Before sleep, take a few conscious breaths and silently say, "What was done today is complete. What remains undone will wait until tomorrow. For now, I release this day." It sounds almost childishly simple, but try it. Notice what happens when you give yourself explicit permission to stop carrying today into tomorrow. Exhaustion isn't just about too little sleep. It's about what you never fully put down. And over time, this accumulates. Days stack on days, months on months, years on years, all of them still being carried, never quite released. This is aging. This is what drains the light from people's eyes. The Buddhist teaching is clear. Knowing how to stop is wisdom. Not knowing how to stop is suffering. 4. Eating in hurry or distraction. When was the last time you tasted your food? Not just put it in your mouth and swallowed it, but actually tasted it. Noticed its texture, its temperature, the way flavors bloomed and faded on your tongue. Felt your body receiving nourishment with something approaching gratitude. For most people, eating has become an unconscious act. You eat while scrolling through your phone. You eat while watching television. You eat while working, while driving, while standing at the kitchen counter between tasks. Your mouth is busy, but your attention is somewhere else entirely. This might seem like a small thing, but in Buddhist practice, the way you eat reveals the way you live. If you can't be present for the act of feeding yourself, one of the most basic, essential functions of staying alive, where can you be present? What modern neuroscience has discovered is that stress prevents proper nutrient assimilation. When your nervous system is activated, when you're rushed, distracted, or emotionally wound up, your body diverts resources away from digestion. Blood flow to your stomach decreases, enzyme production slows. Your body is in a state of mild emergency, and digestion is not a priority during emergencies. So you can eat the healthiest meal in the world, but if you eat it in stress or distraction, your body doesn't fully receive it. You're hungry again an hour later. You feel sluggish. Your energy doesn't stabilize the way it should. In Zen monasteries, meals are eaten in silence, with full attention. There's a teaching called oryoki, a formal meal practice where every movement is deliberate, every bite is conscious. It's not about rules. It's about attention, about bringing presence to an act we usually perform in our sleep. You don't need to sit in lotus position to eat mindfully. You just need to notice what you're doing while you're doing it. Feel the fork in your hand. See the food on your plate. Chew slowly enough to actually experience the process of eating. Allow your nervous system to recognize that nourishment is arriving, that you are safe, that there is no emergency. Food doesn't just nourish the body. Presence nourishes life. And when you eat with attention, something subtle shifts. You're no longer racing through existence, trying to get to the next thing. You're here, now, doing this one thing. And in that simple shift, a door opens to a different quality of being alive. 5. Speaking harshly to yourself. Listen to the voice in your head for a moment, the one that narrates your experience, the one that comments on your appearance, your performance, your worthiness. Is it kind? Is it patient? Would you speak that way to someone you loved? For most people, the answer is no. The internal voice is harsh, critical, unforgiving. It notices every flaw, every mistake, every shortcoming. It compares you to others and finds you lacking. It reminds you of past failures and predicts future ones. It speaks to you in a tone you would never use with a friend. And here's what Buddhist psychology understands. That voice creates the emotional climate of your life. It's not just commentary, it's environment. It's the air you breathe internally, day after day, year after year. The Metta Sutta, one of the Buddha's central teachings, says we should extend the same unconditional friendliness to ourselves that we naturally feel for those we care about. Not as a technique, not to achieve something, but because harsh self-criticism is a form of inner violence, and inner violence ages the body before time does. Research in psychoneuroimmunology, the study of how mental states affect physical health, has shown that chronic self-criticism activates the same stress response as external threat. Your body doesn't distinguish between someone attacking you and you attacking yourself. Both register as danger. Both flood your system with cortisol and adrenaline. Both keep your nervous system in a state of constant vigilance. Over time, this becomes inflammation. It becomes elevated blood pressure. It becomes dysregulated sleep. It becomes the kind of wear and tear that shows up as premature aging. You might think you're motivating yourself with harsh self-talk, that you need to be hard on yourself to maintain standards. But Buddhist wisdom suggests something different. Firmness does not require cruelty. You can have high expectations without attacking yourself when you fail to meet them. You can acknowledge mistakes without making them mean something terrible about who you are as a person. Gentleness is not weakness. Gentleness is the strength to see yourself clearly without the distortion of self-punishment. It's the capacity to meet your own imperfection with the same patience you would extend to a child learning to walk. And when you speak to yourself with kindness, not false positivity, but genuine compassion, something shifts in your body. Your shoulders drop, your breathing deepens, the constant vigilance softens. And in that softening, you age less, you live more. 6. Breathing without presence. Right now, as you read this, your breath is moving in and out. It has been, without pause, since the moment you were born. And yet, when was the last time you actually noticed it? Breath is life's most intimate rhythm. It's the one function that operates both automatically and voluntarily. You don't have to think about breathing, but you can choose to direct it. This makes it a bridge between the conscious and unconscious, between the body and the mind. In Buddhist practice, mindfulness of breathing is considered the most fundamental meditation, not because breath is special in some mystical sense, but because it's always present, always accessible, and always revealing. The quality of your breath reflects the quality of your nervous system in real time. When you're anxious, your breath becomes shallow and quick. When you're relaxed, it deepens and slows. Most people, most of the time, breathe in a way that signals mild emergency to their body. Short breaths, chest breathing rather than diaphragmatic breathing, breath held unconsciously during moments of concentration or stress. This might not seem like much, but your nervous system is listening to your breath, using it as information about whether you're safe or under threat. Shallow breathing tells your body that something is wrong, that you need to stay alert, that rest is not appropriate right now. And if you breathe this way habitually, which most people do, you're essentially training your body to live in a low-grade state of alarm. The beauty of breath is that you can change it. Right now. This moment. You don't need a technique. You don't need to do it perfectly. You just need to remember that breath exists and that attending to it is always an option. One full breath, taken consciously, can interrupt the cascade of stress hormones. One moment of deep exhalation can signal to your nervous system that it's safe to rest. The ancient meditation masters called this anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing. And they taught it not because it leads somewhere else, but because it returns you to where you actually are. No technique is required, only returning, again and again, to this breath, to this moment, to this life that's happening right now, not in your thoughts about the past or future, but in the simple rising and falling of your chest. 7. Clinging to past identities. Who do you think you are? Not philosophically, practically. When you tell the story of yourself to yourself, who is the main character? What qualities define you? What past accomplishments or failures do you use to understand yourself in the present? The problem, from a Buddhist perspective, is that these stories are always outdated. They're snapshots from a previous version of you, being used to define the current version. And as long as you're gripping tightly to an old identity, you cannot fully inhabit who you're becoming. The Buddha taught anatta, the doctrine of no fixed self. This doesn't mean you don't exist. It means there is no unchanging essence at your core that remains the same through time. You are not a noun, you are a verb. You are a process of constant becoming, and every moment offers the possibility of being different than you were before. But most people resist this. They cling to who they used to be even when that version of themselves was suffering, even when that identity has become a cage. They say things like, "I've always been this way," or "I'm just not the kind of person who..." And in saying it, they make it true. They imprison themselves in a story that's no longer accurate. There's a Zen story about a monk who studied with a master for many years. Finally, after deep practice, he had an awakening experience. He ran to tell his teacher, who simply said, "Don't let it become a story you carry." This is the trap. Even your best qualities, even your proudest moments, can become weights if you hold them too tightly. Because life keeps moving. The person you were when you achieved something great is not the person you are now. And if you keep living from that old identity, you miss the opportunity to discover what's emerging in this moment. Letting go of past identities doesn't mean forgetting your history. It means not being imprisoned by it. It means recognizing that you are more than your resume, more than your mistakes, more than your accomplishments. You are this ongoing process of being alive, and that process doesn't have to match the story you've been telling. When you release old versions of yourself, something remarkable happens. Space opens up. The future becomes less determined. You find yourself capable of things you thought were not you. And in that fluidity, there is a kind of youthfulness that has nothing to do with age and everything to do with freedom. 8. Constant comparison. Your life is your life, not theirs. This seems obvious, but somewhere along the way, most people forgot it. They stopped living their own life and started measuring it against everyone else's. They look at what others have achieved, what others look like, what others are doing, and they feel diminished. Social media has amplified this tendency to an almost pathological degree. You scroll through curated highlights of other people's lives and mistake them for reality. You compare your inner experience, messy, uncertain, full of doubt, with other people's exterior presentation, and you conclude that you're falling behind. The Buddhist teaching is simple. Comparison is suffering, always, even when you compare favorably. Because comparison takes you out of your own direct experience and places you in an imaginary competition that cannot be won. Each being walks a path shaped by different causes and conditions. Your karma is not their karma. Your lessons are not their lessons. Your timeline is not their timeline. What looks like success in someone else's life might be exactly wrong for yours. What feels like failure in your life might be precisely what you need to move forward. In the Zen tradition, they speak of beginner's mind approaching each moment fresh, without the weight of comparison or expectation. A beginner doesn't know what's supposed to happen. A beginner doesn't measure their experience against some ideal. A beginner just shows up and does their best with what's present. This is not naivety, it's freedom. When you stop comparing, you stop draining your life force in service of an imaginary race. You return to your own path, your own rhythm, your own particular way of being alive. And in that returning, something softens. The constant vigilance relaxes. You discover that your life, exactly as it is, has its own dignity, its own rightness. Not because it matches anyone else's, but because it's yours. 9. Avoiding silence. The world is loud, and when the world goes quiet, most people immediately fill the silence with something: music, television, podcasts, conversation, internal commentary, anything to avoid the void. But silence is not a void. Silence is nourishment. In Buddhist practice, there's a recognition that the mind becomes shallow without periods of silence. Like a pond constantly stirred, it never settles enough to become clear. The sediment stays suspended. You can see only a few inches below the surface. Silence allows the mind to settle. It's not that thoughts stop, though sometimes they do. It's that without constant external input, the mind begins to reveal its own depths. Patterns become visible. Habitual reactions show themselves. The constant chatter that usually drowns out everything else finally quiets enough that you can hear something underneath it. This is why meditation retreats emphasize silence. Not as a rule for its own sake, but because only in silence can you begin to hear what your life has been trying to tell you all along. Most people are afraid of silence because they're afraid of what they'll discover there. They worry they'll be bored or lonely or confronted by uncomfortable emotions they've been avoiding. And these fears are not unfounded. Silence does sometimes bring difficult material to the surface, but difficult is not the same as harmful. In fact, what you avoid in silence has a way of showing up anyway as anxiety, as exhaustion, as illness, as a vague sense that something is wrong but you can't quite name what it is. Silence gives you a chance to meet these things directly in their raw form before they calcify into chronic problems. You don't need to go on a retreat. You don't need to sit for hours. Even a few moments of genuine stillness each day can begin to change the texture of your mind. Even 60 seconds with no input, no phone, no sound, no task can interrupt the habit of constant distraction. And in those moments, something remarkable happens. You discover that you are not your thoughts. You are not the constant mental narration. You are the awareness in which thoughts arise and pass. And that awareness does not age. It does not tire. It is always young, always fresh, always present. 10. Repressing emotions instead of observing them. What you push down does not disappear. It simply moves into the body as tension. This is one of the most misunderstood aspects of Buddhist teaching in the West. People hear about equanimity and think it means becoming emotionless. They think awakening is about transcending feelings, rising above them, no longer being affected by life's ups and downs. But that's not what the Buddha taught. He taught that emotions are natural responses to experience. They arise based on conditions. They're not good or bad in themselves. What creates suffering is not the emotion, but how you relate to it. Most people either suppress their emotions or become identified with them. Suppression looks like strength, but creates inner pressure. Identification looks like authenticity, but creates inner chaos. Both are forms of not being present with what's actually happening inside you. The Buddhist path is different. It's about observing emotions without becoming them, feeling sadness without deciding, I am a sad person, experiencing anger without acting it out or pushing it away, allowing fear to move through without letting it dictate your choices. This is harder than it sounds. Emotions are visceral. They create sensations in the body that demand response. Your heart races with anxiety, and every instinct says do something, anything, to make it stop. Your chest tightens with grief, and you want to distract yourself, to not feel it, to get away from the pain. But Buddhist practice asks you to stay, to turn toward the experience rather than away from it. Not because suffering is noble, but because what you're actually experiencing is almost always more manageable than what your mind says you're experiencing. Fear, when observed directly, is often just a tight sensation in the chest and rapid thoughts. Anger is heat and tension. Grief is heaviness and tears. When you meet them as physical sensations rather than stories about what they mean, they become workable. They move through. They don't settle in as chronic conditions. The Tibetan Buddhist teacher Pema Chodron says we should learn to sit with uncomfortable feelings, not forever. Just long enough to realize they're not emergencies. Long enough to see that you can feel something intensely and still be fundamentally okay. This is what creates emotional resilience. Not avoiding difficult feelings, but developing the capacity to be present with them. And that capacity, more than anything else, determines how well you age. Because life does not stop bringing difficult experiences, loss continues, disappointment continues, change continues. But when you know how to be with difficult emotions without being destroyed by them, when you can feel deeply without fragmenting, you move through life with a kind of ease that's not about circumstances being easy, but about you having the inner spaciousness to hold whatever comes. Closing the return. So here's what actually ages us. Not time, not even our bodies breaking down, which they will, inevitably, because that's the nature of being alive in a form that's temporary. What ages us is resistance, speed, unconscious tension, the constant low-grade friction of fighting with reality, the inner violence of harsh self-criticism, the shallow breathing that never lets our nervous system rest, the relentless comparison, the noise we use to drown out silence, the emotions we push into our bodies because we're afraid to feel them. These are the habits, the invisible ones, the ones nobody taught you to question, the ones that feel so normal you probably thought they were just who you are, but they're not who you are. They're what you've been doing. And what you've been doing, you can stop doing. Not all at once, not perfectly. But right now, you can take one conscious breath. You can soften your jaw. You can notice the thought that says this shouldn't be happening and recognize it as optional. You can speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love. Buddhist teaching says that liberation is always available, not eventually, not after you fix yourself, right now, in this moment, because this moment is all you ever have. The irony is that trying to stop aging is itself a form of resistance to reality. Your body will age. Your cells will slowly lose their efficiency. Eventually, this form you call me will cease to be. That's the deal. That's the condition of having been born. But inner youthfulness, the spaciousness, the vitality, the sense of being fully alive, this does not depend on your body being young. It depends on your mind being free. Free from the constant inner argument with what is. Free from the stories that imprison you. Free from the habits that drain your life force in service of problems that cannot be solved by thinking harder about them. You cannot control time, but you can stop fighting it. You cannot prevent your body from changing, but you can change how you inhabit it. You cannot make circumstances be different than they are, but you can change your relationship to them. And in that change, that shift from resistance to presence, something remarkable happens. Life stops being something to get through and starts being something to inhabit. The future stops being a destination you're racing toward and starts being simply what will unfold from this moment. Your body stops being an enemy and starts being the only vehicle through which you can experience being alive. This is not about adding more to your life. It's about removing what's been in the way all along. The Buddha's final words, as he lay dying under the sal trees, were these: "All conditioned things are impermanent. Strive on with diligence." He did not say resist impermanence. He did not say fight aging. He said understand it, see it clearly, and then live with the full awareness that this life is temporary, which makes it precious. Which makes this moment right now, as you read these words, the only place where anything real can happen. You don't need to fix yourself. You just need to stop doing the things that are quietly draining you. The resistance, the complaint, the harshness, the shallow breath, the clinging, the comparison, the noise, the repression. When you stop, something else naturally emerges. Not effort, not achievement, just presence, just life, happening in the space you've finally made for it. And in that space, you discover something the ancient teachers knew. When you stop fighting life, life stops draining you. This is the secret they never put in cosmetic ads. This is the anti-aging wisdom that requires no product, no procedure, no supplement. Just this. Just being here. Awake. Present. Free from the invisible habits that were aging you all along. Right now, this breath, this moment, this is where your life actually is. Are you here for it?